Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this video, Rufai Oseni speak about the arrest of very dark man. Injustice for one is injustice for all. You may not like very dark man or you may like him. The most important thing is that we are looking or seeking for justice for everyone in Nigeria. Because in Nigeria, when you are in the side of truth or you are speaking against all these criminals, you become the target, you become the victim. And this is exactly what happened to very dark man. We know that number one reason why Efcc arrested Very Dark Man is because of what he said about them or against them. Even Very Dark Man said it. If you know that what I am saying is not true, then invite me. I am coming with proof. But arresting him as a criminal is no. So this is the reason why Rufai talks about, oppressing the truth in Nigeria, oppressing those that have decided to speak truth to power in order to better this country. Because if we continue like this country will keep sinking, and at the end of the day, is going to collapse. Let me allow you guys to listen and hear everything that he said in this particular video.
I've been seeing a lot of this message about free VDM. The questions we should ask is, why will somebody go to the bank with his mother because of charges and they will put him in a corner against his rights, detain him, then get the Efcc to come arrest him? Until date, we've not heard anything, any message. And that's the question. And that's the question I'm asking the Efcc today. What is going on? Because I've also spoken for EFCC and they appreciate my work. They appreciate my work. Even to the high echelons of EFCC, I've said, Rufai, thank you so much for what people like you do. They appreciate my work. But we just want to ask those questions. And the EFCC should be able to give us. We can't have a country where things just happen like that and we can't ask questions and answer questions. So we'd like them to tell us more. What is going on? And please, you can't hold a man against his rights. The Constitution says, charge him to court. 24 hours. So, truth is, we want them to be able to respond to this. We want to hear from them. Because you see, any perceived high-handedness, any part of the world, is a threat to injustice everywhere. That's just it. Any perceived high-handedness anywhere in the world is a threat to justice everywhere. And that's why we'd like to hear from the EFCC. What is going on? We'd like to hear from them. The truth has to be said. The journey to redeeming a country of purpose is not an easy journey. The journey to making our country a whole lot better is a hard one for those that decide to stand on the path of the truth. It's not an easy one. But we need to keep speaking up. And trust me, I'm not saying we'll be perfect all the time. Where we are not perfect, we'll make amends in the face of higher evidence and information. But the truth is, we need to ask questions. We need to ask questions. And if we don't ask those questions, we don't go anywhere. But there are so many people that feels that if society is not good, then some people will gain from it. So some people are very selfish, especially in the society, and those are the people that have always dominated the resource of every society. You can go historically in the American Gilded Age, where you had a lot of the businessmen dominate the resource of the society. Even up to the 60s and 70s, and up till today, They still dominate the resource of the society. They make a lot of political agreements in their favor. They fund politicians and they ensure that the laws are there to favor them. And when they do all of this, it's constantly about for them. So I'm sure you will have heard about the historical antecedents of the likes of the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers were big industrialists in America, but they fund everybody across the aisle in politics. And the truth is, they've gained a lot of dominance. They've gained a lot of strength by doing that. So for them, whoever gets in, it's evolve. So in the society, there will be the richest, the bourgeoisie, that will always get a lot of things to them because they can play the intricacies of politics. It happens across board. It happens everywhere. For these people, it's about them, and it's about them alone. They own the levers of society. They have wealth. They are the billionaires of this world, and they have a lot of wealth. For these people, it's a very small, society. In fact, if we have in a country that is poor over the years that our leaders have made poor, like Nigeria, if you have close to 100,000 of these people, in fact, you can't even have 100,000 of these people. The super rich, I'm saying, they are the trillionaires. I'm sure you know there are some people that are trillionaires. When you check their valuation in dollar terms, I can extrapolate it in naira terms, they are trillionaires. And the billionaires, you can't even have a lot of them in this country because the statistics says that over just 136,000 Nigerians as of 2022, I was seeing the statistics via AI, that just over 136,000 Nigerians have over $1 million in the bank account or in assets. So just over 36 million. Over 136,000 Nigerians have over $1 million. That's about 1.6 billion in the bank accounts. So they are the high ups there. Which people fall in these categories? A lot of the politicians that have stolen money. These are the politicians that have stolen money, and they will tell you that poverty is a virtue. They've stolen a lot of resource. And these are the politicians that tell you that, oh, don't worry, once you join parties, your sins are forgiven. These are the politicians that will tell you that, don't worry, they are working for Nigeria's gain. But they are super rich, their lives are better, their children are better. Everything around them are better. For them, they don't care about the common man that can afford 1,000 naira. For them, as long as their lives are better, they don't care about you. They say they'll empathize with you. They do some charity, but most of them, for them, it's about how they can amass. So they have homes everywhere. Some of them still try to get the goodwill of people through charity. But for them, they have the economic power, while the other people do not have it. So like I was saying, if in a population of over 230 million, we just have about 136,000 people as of 2022, and I'm sure that number will have dropped because as of 2022, we had not devalued the currency. So you see all sorts of going on. Now, how do these people, a lot of them, make their money? They make their money by rent seeking. As long as you're close to the government of the day, you say things to favor them, you can get heavy contracts, you can get all of that. So they favor you with contracts, you get your way, you become highly successful. So these people hold the levers of the society, and they run it the way they want to run it. Some of them are businessmen, some of them are in the political category, some of them are in the resource category. The part of these people that truly, genuinely are industrialists, work hard and make their money, are very few in a rent-seeking economy like this. But let me tell you something. With the political class and all of these classes, people that speak truth to power, they will never like them. They will arrest them. They will try to undermine them. They will do all sorts to them. So they will always undermine them. And what would they do? They will try as much as possible to pay those in the lower cadre to be able to undermine them. So those that are surrogates and all of that will never be as financially equipped as the big man up there. The first thing they will try to do is they'll try to arrest people that challenge their thoughts and speak truth to power. Secondly, they'll try to tarnish their image. They'll try to say all sorts of things against them. They'll cook up stories, they'll say all sorts against them. So these are the things they try to do. And the problem is, as long as these people stay true and speak truth to power, they'll never like it, because the more these people keep speaking, the more they feel that their chances of getting benefits and wealth is very limited. So what they do is they try as much as possible to attack these people. They'll come, they'll say all sorts. They say some sensational things, they'll blackmail. They'll arrest. And that's why Henry Thoreau did say, the only place for a truth sayer or for a patriot in a country where, and I'm just paraphrasing, in a country where there's no accountability, is the prison. Because there's no how, they will always try as much as possible to put these patriots in the prison. They would arrest them. As long as you say things that are contrary to them, they'll arrest you. They'll do all sorts. And you might have seen a lot of people that might have suffered this fate. They'll tarnish the image, they'll blackmail, they'll say all sorts. But for truth sayers, all you just need to do is to be steadfast. It is not every Tom, Dick, and Harry you listen to, because those things are meant to be distractions. A lot of those things are meant to be able to pull you and derail you. But the truth is, you know that the quest you have is of a country of a lot of purpose and possibility. You know the truth you have in you is for things to be a whole lot better for the common man. So you see the workings of the same people that you're fighting for, that are trying to bring you down because they've connected peanuts from the powers that be. And you know the evidence is quite clear. But the truth is, you'll know, you'll see it. So no matter what they do, it's all a game. And that's why you see that even the fight against corruption is all a game. 1 minute they're on the heels of somebody, the next minute it's all gone. And what they do is that they'll make a lot of noise and use also media, and also because there's now more liberation in terms of media with the social media, it's an easy one for them to be able to malign and all of that. So you see a lot of that activity going on. Definitely. And it's not today it started. You know, when the likes of this incumbent president was fighting, you know, against the military government then, there was a lot that happened then. There was a lot of propaganda even by the military government. There were some people that were given the charge that they set up newspaper outfits just to be able to condemn June 12th. So the fact that you have a lot of people that are fighting those that are speaking for the society and saying it the way it is, shouldn't surprise you. because it's always happened. That's always the way of the world. That's always the way things will play out. For those that speak up and speak up for accountability and the truth, they will expect prosecution. And the prosecution will be severe, but the truth is they should never relent, because the joy in the end, after the persecution and the oppression, is more important. And definitely you'll have heard your name in the annals of history. And most importantly, it will be on record that you did your conscience and you fought for what was right. So the truth is, for truth sayers in society, be rest assured that you will lose a lot of friends. You will face prosecution. You will face persecution, prosecution and persecution. Because the people that you're saying the truth and the truth is affecting them will fight back. Corruption will fight back. All sorts of things will fight back. They will always say you are not fair enough. So no matter what you do, they will always say you're not fair enough. It's human being for you. You cannot please people. In fact, there's a big song by Ebenezer Obey that says, "Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá, kò síwá tó lè wù, kò sọ́nà tó lè dá, tó lè fi táyé lọ́rùn." So there is nothing you can do. But you see, the vindication is people that disagree with you are now coming around to say the same things you said. And you will see it happen in your lifetime. You will see some vindications happen in your lifetime. You will see some will not happen in your life. Some will happen after long you have gone. But the question is, what did you fight for? Did you fight for your conscience? Was it right, what you fought for? And was it fair, what you fought for? The first thing they will do is they will try to smile your credibility. They'll say the standard. They'll say everything about you. They will say all sorts. So when they say these things, don't get distracted. Because what they want to do is actually they want to get you distracted. When you tell them, let's face the issues, they will bring around distractions to you. When you tell them, let's face the issues, let's talk about this, they'll bring distractions. When you ask them important questions, they'll bring distractions. They'll say all sorts. But for you, it's for you not to be weary in well-doing. And keep on doing what you're doing. So, it might take a while, but the truth is out there. I mean, look at the back and forth now we're saying about refineries. When I spoke the truth then, it was a gang up. We even had people arrange protesters to come protest. But we finally discovered that the protesters were, seemingly paid to do so. But today, the same people that said, oh, the refinery is good, is complete, is this, it is the same institution that is saying that there's problems, we need to investigate what went on. So, some you'll be vindicated, some you might not be, but it should be on record you said your bit. That's just it. So, it should be on record that you said your bit. And the first thing they'll do is they'll attack you, attack your credentials, they'll say all sorts of things. But you've been standing on the truth for over 20 years of your life. You know the records are there. You an analyst on a local BBC station, BBC Bristol. The evidences are there. You had appeared on that platform, a local BBC in England. You had co-founded radio stations like this, and people that have never been able to do anything in their lives will tell you all sorts. So what do? You look on. I mean, the whole world knows when we started. I was the first voice of VOP, and we co-founded, and I'm a co-founder. And we've run it effectively, and it's become a voice of truth and conscience. And I have a lot of joy when people say, Rufai, VOP is doing a great job. We're not perfect, but we can do a whole lot better. Then we're also bring behind the other verticals in the VOP family. There's also VOP TV Online that is doing quite well. Also the brain behind it. So when you look at all of this and you hear all sorts of distraction from people and you wonder what is going on, but you know. And see, for you, it might not be on a national scale you will face this persecution. It might be in your company. It might be in your love for Christ. It might be your Christian work and your Christian journey. Whatever it is, all I just want to tell you is that you got to stand firm. You have to be firm because they will come at you. As long as you have a thought process to bring sanity to society, they will come at you. People will say all sorts. They'll fight you. They'll never believe. There will be many sides. There's a side of the truth and there's a side of hate. There's a side of the truth, there's a side of lies. When you say the economy of the country is not getting better, they'll take it personal, but it's not getting better. I was in DC. And I saw things for myself when the projections came out. I was in a panel session in DC where they say, oh, journalists don't ask questions. But the truth has to be said. They were saying the Trump tariffs were not going to affect us. What about the 2 trillion of agricultural tariff that man complained about? So, if you have a contrary view, they attack you. But the truth is, it is God in heaven that daily loads you with benefit when you stand for the truth. And some things, you will always stand. When we say insecurity is not improving, look at what happened yesterday. And I just want to celebrate our valiant soldiers and say my condolences to those that lost, the soldiers that lost their life. In Yobe, attacks by terrorists on the barracks of soldiers. Another sad one. It's a sad one for our country. A very sad one. But our soldiers are fighting day and night. So when we say President Tinubu, people are dying in the country. We just lost soldiers. What are you doing about it? The next thing they attack you. And say, no, you don't have to say that. But is it not the truth? When people not dying? When we came out to say that it was blending they were doing in the refinery, that they didn't have a catalytic converter to crack naphtha and all of that and turn it into petrol directly, that they had to blend. At first they said we're not correct, but they came out to admit it. And we said, oh, things are not as well with the refinery. They said, no, it's all lies. And guess what happened? They used journalists to also go justify that things were working then. But why we also know, because we had insiders in there that was telling us it's contrary to what was being reported. So, if we choose not to be used, if we choose to see facts, and some other journalists choose to see otherwise, we'll keep choosing to see the facts we see. Am I perfect? No. But all we've just decided to do is to stand for something. It's the same journalists that were flown to the venue to report that everything was working. But months down the line, what you spend over 1.4 billion on, what you spend over 800 million on, what you spend about like $4-5 billion on, it's not still working. But we can see the other refinery in Lagos, the Dangote refinery, churning out products by the day, can reduce prices. And when we said it that they were still importing, they said, oh, we're lying. In the end, is what justifies the means. In the end, is what justifies the means. In fact, I remember how somebody fought me when I said the administration is not doing well. And you see, what they fail to realize is I want this government, if this government succeeds, I'll be very happy. Because it will lift a lot of burden off us. You get? So if this government succeeds, I'm very happy. Remember how somebody fought me when I say this government has failed, the economy is tanking. Today, the same person is saying that today. But he called me names the other day. And when I retorted, the first thing they also tell you is you're rude. So people will insult you and say all sorts to you. And when you respond, they'll be the first to tell you you're rude. Now, when you go around and give a fair balance, they'll say, oh, it's not hard enough because it doesn't favor them. But in all of this, what do? The Bible says, for the goal that was set up above, Christ endured the cross. So it's a cross we carry. It's not an easy one. We carry for society to be a lot better. But for the goal that is set up above of a greater country, that God promised me that I'm doing my own little bit. And that's why I have the Oseni Center, library, albeit in my village. God sees me if I have the funds. I would like to build that center in as much areas of the country. But guess what? Since I don't have the funds, we're also partnering with the likes of Icon of Hope to do a lot of things in prisons and some parts of the north. We're also helping as much as possible. With every part of the country, supporting co-charity. Somebody yesterday sent me a message that, oh, he's passionate about having a pediatric cancer center. I'm like, okay, go ahead, I'll publicize it. Also using our platform for a lot of good, helping people. I will keep doing that. So we need to stand in the vanguard of the truth.
So my people, that is it. I hope you guys had everything Rufai Oseni said in this particular video, standing in the vanguard of truth. I know that a day like this will come in the life of very dark man, because when you have decided to speak truth to power, especially a country like Nigeria, like you must be expecting something like this, because they are trying to silence any voice that will rise to speak against them. But what we are asking is for Efcc to come clean and tell us what is VDM offense, so that we take it up there, right? But arresting him as a criminal, we said no to that. So I still make I bring this update to you guys so that you hear what Rufai Oseni said concerning the arrest of very dark man, and as well as how this government is trying all they can in order to oppress or silence any voice that will rise against them. So leave your thoughts in the comment section, share the video, give it a like. I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to Chamress News TV.